Hi, my name is Fiona Dunnan from FMD Architects, and I'm presenting to you the Ripple House today. The Ripple House is a series of unfurling spaces defined by subtle shifts in the site and light. Discreetly positioned behind a single-fronted Victorian facade, the addition reinvents the previously disconnected floor plan, creating a highly adaptable family home connected to its garden. The architecture develops a narrative around reverberation and progression, drawing on the ripple notion to explore deft forms that mediate the descent of the site's gentle fall and associated impact on the interior. This diagram is sort of a hybrid plan section of what's actually happening and how the steps occur in the floor plan and in the elevation. The traditional sequence of bedrooms at the front is maintained as a study and a guest room, while the existing bathroom is reworked. The central kitchen and living spaces are bookended with the main bedroom with an easterly garden aspect. Each of the original spaces, such as the study, introduce small ripples in their interior joinery, introducing the notion of reverberation as you progress through to the new interior. The existing bathroom contains small chamfered elements connecting its forms to the extension beyond. At the junction between the old and the new, the first main ripple occurs with a step in the facade with long views through to the garden, as well as a change in level and materiality on both the floor and the ceiling. So you can see here, straight from the entry, you can see all the way through to the end of the site. This green ceiling is the first step in the ceiling and the transition between the old timber floor and the new concrete. And then you see that view sort of going all the way through a bit closer up to the end of the site. Externally, the palette changes from weatherboard to brick to define the transition from old to new. So here's the old part of the house and the new brick facade. The rippling canopy and the landscape follow those transitions of the interior along the length of the facade as well. The compact east elevation offers little insight to the TARDIS-like interior concealed within. The outdoor seating area outside the main bedroom carves glimpses of the long interior beyond. Under the first green ripple sits the kitchen. The cabinetry is recessive with simple crisp white finishes juxtaposed with sculptural plywood forms in the island bench, offering a continual dialogue between the floor and the ceiling, while creating an intuitive gathering point for informal entertaining. Beyond, a striking rippled ceiling overlaid with silvertop ash defines the principal volume of the new extension. Folded forms cranked to capture the light and northern views above the neighbouring brick boundary wall. So this diagram shows you this big brick wall and how we're trying to sort of raise it up to catch that northern light. And while it breaks low on the southern boundary to allow the neighbours the same privilege. So here we're trying to minimise any overshadowing to the neighbouring property on the other side. The engineered north folding canopy controls passive solar gain to the slab flooring below. So that canopy stops the harsh summer sun penetrating our slab, but in winter it comes all the way through. But within its folds, there's an east-facing skylight, which draws morning light through to the central kitchen area. So this is sort of drawing that morning light into the house, which I always love. Lush landscaping is incorporated along that northern fence line to screen the mass of that neighbouring brick wall and sort of layer it up so it's not just this big flat brick facade. The springing point anchors the ceiling arrangement, creating a strong definition between the lounge and dining volumes. An angular plywood unit sits in sculptural dialogue below, which houses the AV utilities in a refined, elegant gesture, reinforcing the definition between the spaces while maintaining those visual connections through the spaces. The rippled ceiling combines energy-conscious LED strip lighting, animating the geometry with lines of light, transforming the impact of the ceiling between day and night. Junctions are meticulously detailed to retrieve restrained sensibility, and surfaces such as the mechanical ventilation are carefully integrated into the pattern language on the ceiling without distracting from the overall form. So they carefully supply air for the aircon is in through these slots here. A wide sliding door opens to the main bedroom, offering views to the eastern garden from the living spaces. Here, the mirrored shed reflects the lush textures of the stepped garden, which you can see here, and appears, so allowing the rippled ceiling to appear as though it spans the full length of the site. When the door is closed, the experience of the master bedroom becomes intimate and secluded. So here you can see all the way through the bedroom through this wide sliding door, which remains open most of the time, really. The walk-in robe leads to a tactile ensuite finished in eucalypt tiling, responding to the natural calming tones of the surrounding landscape, washed in morning light. So the house continually expands and compresses space and views, offering a continual play between pragmatics and the creative reverberations between light and sight. The seemingly endless ripples oscillate between the dramatic and the serene. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.